Dear students, in this session, we will discuss about the gate drive, comparison of the BJT and the MOSFET, and also the power IGBT of the power transistor. So, gate drive. The gate drive circuit of a power MOSFET is very simple when you compare to base drive of the BJT. So hence the power MOSFET is preferred over the BJT. So let us see what is gate drive, okay, and then so how it the works. The gate drive is very important for the switching on and switching off of the MOSFET. So here you are observing enhancement type MOSFET where the gate is connected to the gate voltage through the resistors R1 and gate source resistance RS. So this gate drive which makes the MOSFET to turn on at the faster rate. So next we will move on to the comparison of the MOSFET with the BJT. Dear students, power MOSFETs have lower switching losses, but its on-state resistance, on-state resistance and conduction losses, totally on-state losses are more in the power MOSFET, but the switching losses are very low in power MOSFET. In power BJT, we have the very low on-state losses, means power BJT which uses the terms VCE-SAT and VBE-SAT. That VBE-SAT and VCE-SAT which reduces the on-state losses of the power BJT. That is one of the advantage of the power BJT. On-state losses are low in power BJT compared to the MOSFET is one of the advantage of the power MOSFET. But the switching losses are more in power BJT, but the switching losses are lower in power MOSFET. So because of the gate drive, the switching speed of the power MOSFET increases. BJT has higher switching loss, bit lower conduction loss. So at high frequency applications, power MOSFET is the obvious choice. But at lower operating frequencies, BJT is the superior. These are some comparisons between the differences between the MOSFET and the BJT. Few more. MOSFET has positive temperature coefficient for resistance. This makes parallel operation MOSFET is easy. Note down, MOSFET has the positive temperature coefficient, dear students, but BJT has negative temperature coefficient. If a MOSFET shares increased current initially, it heats up faster, its resistance increases, and this increased resistance causes this current to shift to other devices in parallel. But BJT has a negative temperature coefficient, so the current saving resistors are necessary during the parallel operations of the BJTs. In the MOSFET, we observe the secondary breakdown. In MOSFET, secondary breakdown does not occur because it has the positive temperature coefficient, but in the BJT, the secondary breakdown takes place because of the negative temperature coefficient. Power MOSFETs in higher voltage ratings have more conduction losses. This is one of the the disadvantage of the power MOSFET. Higher voltage ratings have more conduction losses. Power MOSFETs have lower ratings compared to the BJTs. Lower ratings compared to BJTs. Power MOSFETs are used at 500 volts to 140 amps. BJT at the rate of 1200 volts, 800 amps. So look at this is the power, the ranges. The power MOSFETs compared to BJTs, power MOSFET is 500 volts, 140, but BJT at 1200 volts, 800 amps. So power ratings, power MOSFET have lower ratings compared to BJTs. BJTs have high ratings of the voltage and the current. So next we will move on to the last type of the power transistor called power IGBT. Power IGBT we stand for insulated gate bipolar transistor. IGBT stands for insulated gate bipolar transistor. This has the combination of the advantages of the BJTs and MOSFETs. So power IGBT uses the advantage of BJT as well as MOSFET. Means power IGBT has lower on-state losses like the power BJT, but the gate drive circuit of an MOSFET is very simple, right? So it has the characteristics. It has the characteristics of simple gate drive. See, since it is combination of an power MOSFET and power BJT, the applications of power IGBTs are more. It can be used in almost all applications of the power electronic system. Therefore, an IGBT has a high input impedance like a MOSFET and low on-state power loss at an BJT. For the IGBT is free from secondary breakdown problem. Dear students, note down one more point. IGBT is free from secondary breakdown which is present in BJT. So this is about the power IGBT, and this is the structure of an power IGBT and equivalent structure. We are observing the IGBT structure, which has what is that, N minus layer and the P substrate, and IGBT has 3 terminals: emitter, gate and collector terminal. The gate part of the power MOSFET is insulated with the collector emitter part of an BJT, so that IGBT is formed. On the right hand side, figure B and figure C, which shows the equivalent circuit and simplified circuit of the power IGBT, where it uses the 2 transistors, NP and the PNP transistors. IGBT and power MOSFETs are same in structure, but main difference is in the substrate. The N plus layer substrate at the drain in power MOSFET is now substituted in the IGBT by P plus layer substrate is called the collector C. Static characteristics of the power IGBT or IGBT biasing point. Dear students, the output characteristics is nothing but collector characteristics. So the collector characteristic is the graph of collector to emitter voltage and the collector current for the different values of the VGE. See, for the different values of VGE, see up to certain the gate to emitter voltage, so the VCE increases, but the collector current remains same, it will not rise. So after a certain voltage of VCE, what is that, thus collector current rises linearly. And the last figure, last waveform, which shows the transfer characteristics of the power IGBT, which is the graph of VGE versus IC for the constant values of the VCE. See, after 4.5 volt, that is the threshold voltage. So after that, the collector current start rising. The voltage at which the collector current start rising, that voltage you can make it as constant when you are plotting the output characteristics or the collector characteristics. So next we will move on to the switching characteristics of the power IGBT. So look here, this is the switching characteristics of power IGBT. So power IGBT, the control terminal is the gate drive, and output terminals are collector and emitter voltage. See, when the gate voltage is applied, when the voltage is applied at the gate, which causes the current to flow from collector to emitter terminal. So let us understand switching characteristics of the power IGBT, how the IGBT is switching from on to off and off to on state. See, when VGE, which increases from 0 to some voltage VGET, so what happens? The collector to emitter voltage VCE start decreasing, but the collector current start rising. See, the time there is a delay called as a TDN, which can be defined as the time required for the what is that, the collector voltage, the time required for the collector voltage, which falls from maximum value or 90% of the VCE to So what is that? No, that is a maximum value of the VCE to 90% of the VCE. That is called as an TDN. So TDN can also be defined as the collector current rise from what is that? Zero value of the current to the 10% of the collector current. That is called as a TDN. Then rise time can be defined as the time required for the current to rise from 10% of the maximum collector current to the what is that 100% of the or maximum collector current. That time is called rise time. So rise time can also be defined as the collector to emitter voltage we start decreasing from 90% of the saturation voltage to 10% of the voltage. That is also called as an rise time. The sum of this rise time and TDN, which gives us the turn on time of the power IGBT. So next, as soon as the VGE decreases, but this current does not respond immediately, and even gate emitter voltage also will not VCE also not respond. VC will not respond immediately. So when the VGE is decreases, so what happens? The VCE decreases. VCE which is increases from lower level to higher level, but the collector current start decreasing as soon as the VGE decreases. So time required for the collector current to decrease from maximum to 90% of the IC is called as a TDF. So next we have the what you call it as T or a reverse recovery time. Reverse, no, it is a TFT fault time 1, TF1 is fault time 1, and TF2 fault time 1 is the time where the collector to emitter voltage we start increasing from 0 level to some 10%. That is called as an TF1, and TF2 is the fault time where the this one, what is that, collector where the VCE which rises from 10% to some 90%, that is called as an, or peak value, that is called as an TF2. The sum of TDF plus TF1 and TF2 which gives turn off of an power IGBT. So this is also important for examination point of view. So turn on time is defined as a time between the instant of the forward blocking to forward conduction mode. Here forward conduction means the device conducts in the forward direction. Turn on time is basically composed of two different times, delay time and rise time. Therefore T on is equal to TDN plus TR. So delay time is defined as a time for the collector to emitter voltage VCE to fall from VCE to 90% of the VCE. And if the delay time can be defined as a time for which the collector current rises from 0 to 10% of the final value of the collector current. So then we have the, what is that, TF1 and TF2, the sum of the TF1, TF2 and TDF which gives your turn off time of the power IGBT. Okay, so okay, thank you for watching this video on the switching characteristics of the power IGBT.